Dear students, this is Dr. Archana Tiwari, Assistant Professor in Department of Business Administration, SPC Government College, Ajmer. The topic of today's discussion is Law of Agency, यानी कि बीमा के अंतर्गत एजेंसी विधि के मूल तत्व क्या हो सकते हैं या बीमा एजेंट संबंधी विनिमय कौन कौन से हो सकते हैं, इस टॉपिक के बारे में आज हमारा डिस्कशन है। जैसे कि हम जानते हैं कि जो मॉडर्न टाइम्स हैं उसमें अलग अलग व्यक्तियों ने अपनी अलग अलग रिस्क को मिटाने के लिए अलग अलग तरह की बीमा पॉलिसी का लाभ प्राप्त किया हुआ है। अब भारत में भी एजेंसी संबंधी कानून प्रावधान भारतीय अनुबंध अधिनियम 1872 की धारा 182 से 238 में दिए गए हैं। लेकिन इस टॉपिक में आज हम देखेंगे कि एजेंसी की डेफिनेशन क्या हो सकती है, एजेंसी का मीनिंग क्या हो सकता है और साथ ही साथ बीमा के अंतर्गत एजेंसी का क्या लॉ हो सकता है। तो ये आज का हमारा डिस्कशन है। तो सबसे पहले हम देखते हैं कि व्हाट इज़ द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ द टॉपिक। इंडिपेंडेंट इंश्योरेंस एजेंट्स आर यूनिकली positioned to meet their customers' insurance needs with access to multiple careers in the insurance marketplace. While this is a great strength, the relationships with carriers and customers and the duties agents owe to each can become blurred. It is critical that insurance agents understand these relationships so they can protect themselves against potential claims arising out of a failure to meet the minimum standards of care on each of these parties. यानी कि एजेंसी एजेंट और प्रधान के मध्य एक संबंध है जिसका जन्म स्पष्ट या गर्भित ठहराव से हो सकता है और इस ठहराव के द्वारा प्रधान एजेंट को अपनी ओर से कार्य करने या अन्य पक्षकारों के साथ लेन देन में अपना प्रतिनिधित्व करने तथा उनके साथ अपना अनुबंधात्मक संबंध स्थापित करने हेतु अधिकृत कर सकता है। दिस मॉड्यूल विल एक्सप्लोर हाउ द लॉ ऑफ एजेंसी अफेक्ट्स एजेंसीज लीगल एंड बिजनेस रिलेशनशिप्स बिटवीन देमसेल्व्स एंड देयर इंश्योरेंस करियर्स. It will look at how agency relationships are created and how to reduce potential E&O exposure from various duties and obligations. Agencies need to be vigilant in regards to meeting the duties of their authority and in representing careers as well as how that authority is perceived by others. In recent years, there has been an increase in the number of claims where the insurance carrier either pursues a direct action against the agent prior to payment of a claim or pays the underlying claim and then seeks to recover the lost payment from the agent. If a career is financially harmed as a result of an agency's wrongful acts, the career may have a right to action against the agency for any damages it sustains. In past years, this may have not happened, but don't bank on the agency being safe from anyone when there's money on the table. The law of agency says that agency is a term that denotes a legal relationship established when one party represents another. Before an agency relationship is created, both parties must voluntarily agree to enter into the relationship, which can be done in writing or orally. When an agency relationship is created, the agent steps into the shoes of the principal and acts on the principal's behalf per the terms of the agreement. In the insurance agency relationship, the agent often acts on behalf of the carrier in an insurance transaction with a third party, which means the insured. Now, establishing an agency relationship. An agent has three types of authority to bind a principal to any agreement made with a third party. These authorities are recognized under the law of agency for all agents, including insurance agents. They include express authority, implied authority, apparent authority. Any time an agency is unsure about its authority in representing the career should be contracted for clarification. Now, first one is express authority. Under the law of agency, express authority may be oral or written. In either case, the principal expressly indicates the extent of authority they are granting to their agent to act on their behalf. This generally comes in the form of an agency agreement, and these agreements are unique to each career, and it is extremely important that agent thoroughly review each career agreement and understand the duties both they and the insurance company have. So this is the express, और इन अदर वर्ड्स वी कैन से रियल और एक्चुअल अथॉरिटी, इसे हम वास्तविक भी कह सकते हैं। तो प्रधान द्वारा एजेंट को प्रदत्त स्पष्ट अधिकार होने चाहिए। प्रधान या प्रिंसिपल के आचरण द्वारा एजेंट को प्रदत्त गर्भित अधिकार भी हो सकते हैं। तो यहाँ पर है कि स्पष्ट अधिकार होने चाहिए जो कि मौखिक रूप से या लिखित रूप से प्रदान किए जाते हैं। जैसे फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल, जयपुर का जे मुंबई के एम को मुंबई में अपनी बकाया ऋणों की वसूली के लिए नियुक्त करता है। यहाँ एम को राइट है कि वे ऋणों को वसूल करने तथा उनकी वैधानिक रूप से समाप्ति के लिए कोई भी उचित वैधानिक प्रक्रिया अपना सकता है। सो एजेंसी एग्रीमेंट्स आउटलाइन द ड्यूटीज द एजेंट ओज टू द करियर इन एक्सचेंज फॉर द right to market the career's product. Now, types of policies that can be sold and territory where the agency is authorized to operate. Binding authority and policy insurance procedures may be there for personnel on the use of the career's proprietary software is extremely important. Broker of record requirements may also be there. Second is implied authority. Implied authority means not everything that an agent is required to do in an insurance transaction is found in the agency agreement or the attached agenda. There are certain duties that an agency must perform that are implied in the performance of duties on behalf of the principal. यानी कि कुछ गर्भित अधिकार भी हो सकते हैं। गर्भित अधिकार वे अधिकार होते हैं जो एजेंट को प्रधान आचरण या विद्यमान परिस्थितियों से प्राप्त होते हैं। तो एजेंट के गर्भित अधिकार को प्रधान के आचरण, परिस्थितियों, व्यापार की प्रथाओं के आधार पर निर्धारित या ज्ञात भी किया जा सकता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, if not specifically addressed in the agency agreement, implied authority may allow an agent to Number 1, accept payment of an insurance premium on behalf of the career, issue automobile, ID cards or other evidence of insurance placed with the career, place a career's logo on signs, website, etc. to advertise their relationship. We are not aware of this alternative term. We did some research but we were unable to confirm it. So it can be mentioned for this also. Apparent authority. It occurs when a third party believes by all appearances that the agent has authority to transact business on behalf of the principal, even when no authority actually exists. If the career has created or allowed a situation to occur such that a reasonable third party would assume that the agent has authority, the principal may have to honor the contractual promise made by his agent. So this is known as apparent authority. Now, agents may bind the career to a policy with a third party even in case of where the career did not authorize the agent to do so. So some examples can be seen for this. Like for example, ए ने बी को अपनी कार की नीलामी के लिए एजेंट नियुक्त किया। ए उसे एक गुप्त निर्देश देता है या अपेरेंट अथॉरिटी देता है कि वह कार को 1 लाख रुपए से कम में ना बेचे, लेकिन बी उसे 75,000 में ही बेच देता है। ए इस विक्रय से बाध्य है क्योंकि नीलामी करने वाले एजेंट का दृश्यमान अधिकार है कि वह माल को उच्चतम मूल्य पर बेच सकता है जब तक कि स्पष्ट सूचना द्वारा इस अधिकार को समाप्त न कर दिया जाए। तो दृश्यमान या अप्रत्यक्ष अधिकार भी हो सकता है, यानी कि अपेरेंट अथॉरिटी हो सकती हैं। तो एजेंट के अधिकारों की सीमा उसके दृश्यमान या प्रत्यक्ष अधिकारों से भी प्रभावित होती है। दृश्यमान अधिकार वे अधिकार हैं जो दूसरों को दिखाई देते हैं या अनुभव होते हैं, जबकि वास्तव में वे अधिकार एजेंट को वास्तव में प्राप्त नहीं होते हैं। इसी तरह से कुछ जनरल एजेंट ड्यूटीज़ हो सकती हैं जो कि करियर के प्रति हैं। Because of the law of agency, there are various general obligations an insurance agent may owe to an insurance carrier, which differ depending upon the carrier and the circumstances as well as the law of each state. Obviously, complying with the terms of the agency agreement is given, but there are other general duties for consideration. Number one is fiduciary duty. It comes from the Latin fides, which means faith, and fiducia, meaning trust. Often fiduciary relationships involving the handling of money. The producer-carrier relationship falls in this category. And in the agency-carrier relationship, the agent also acts as the carrier's frontline underwriter. The producer, as the legal representative of the carrier, has usually been granted binding authority. Second is loyalty. It means the agent has the duty of loyalty to its principal. The duty of loyalty embraces several subsidiaries, including refraining from competing with the principal, taking action on behalf of or otherwise assisting the principal's competitiveness. Third is collection of premium. Oftentimes the premiums due on a new insurance transaction are collected by the producer and checks are made out by the customers to the agency and then owed to the carrier. These net premiums may be held for a period of time before the agency terms them over the carrier in accordance with the terms of the agency agreement. Fourth is disclosure of information, and this is the last part of the discussion. Since the agent is representing the principal and since the agent's knowledge is implied to the principal, it is reasonable for the principal to expect that their agent will provide them with any material information of which the agent is aware. In an insurance transaction, this material information would affect the carrier's decisions regarding acceptance or denial of the account. The customer asks the agent if they should turn in a claim for fear the insurer will cancel or non-renew them. The agent has a duty to report this to the insurer. The agent should report this to the carrier. So the agent becomes aware of the change in the risk midterm. So this is the end of the topic, and tomorrow we'll make a presentation on creation of agency in insurance contract.